Hey, Boss Rush crew. Sorry I couldn't be there to join you guys to talk about the game of the year for 2018. Currently, if you're watching this live, I will be out of the States working and doing some vacation stuff in Las Vegas, so having some time off, but sorry I can't be there. I know we were planning on doing this for a long time, so sorry. That being said, though, I did do some research on some of the new games we got for Christmas time, some of the games that I think a lot of you will probably also pick for Game of the Year. So I wanted to talk about those, a few honorable mentions, and then just some end of the year wrap up for you guys. So starting things off, wanted to talk about the games I liked in 2018, but aren't quite my game of the year. So first one, we'll go in order of when I actually played them. First one is going to be Octopath Traveler. I got it this summer when it released and played it while I was on a vacation at a friend's wedding. Really great game for the Switch. I thought it really exemplified what a portable RPG should be like. It was great graphics, but it also had a really fun system that you could play for a long time, play for a short time, and still get really great benefits from it. I think that it had a cool story. I think maybe reason it wasn't a full Game of the Year candidate for me, it was a little lacking in the drive behind why I wanted to play it. I think some characters had great stories, some characters were a little bit lackluster, to say the least. But that being said, it was a really fun game. I think it's a cool, unique exclusive for the Switch and a really great example of I think it's the Bravely Default team doing something new and bringing more people into the RPG world. I hope to see more from them and another RPG kind of like this, and more stuff on the Switch in the RPG genre would be amazing. So honorable mention goes to Octopath Traveler. Another game I want to talk about for a Game of the Year candidate, but my honorable mention is going to be Red Dead Redemption 2. I was able to get it for Christmas from one of my family members, so thank you for that. And I played a couple dozen hours so far. I think I am on Chapter 3, and man, this game is hands down one of the most impressive looking games I've ever played. Definitely the best looking game of 2018. And the attention to detail just really, really stands out. So one of the things that stood out to me first was when you jump off your horse and your snow, or the boots just crunch the snow. It sounds really, really cool, super authentic, and it really is immersive. It's something you wouldn't think about, but Rockstar did it, and it's really great. From there, the storyline is pretty captivating, and I just like that you can do whatever you want, and it doesn't really feel quite like a game. Like if you're going somewhere, it doesn't seem like there's a big fast travel sort of system. You actually have to get on a horse and go. If you want to talk to someone and start a quest, like you have to, bring your weapons, you have to do all this stuff. So immersion is what I really think about when I play the game. I could see it being Game of the Year, but for me, I just hadn't given it enough time just yet. So we'll see. Maybe there can be an addendum later on. But for right now, Red Dead Redemption 2 is another honorable mention for me. Last honorable mention game for 2018 is a mobile game. It's Nintendo's Dragalia Lost. I hesitate to include it, but when I looked at the games that I played most in 2018, that was definitely one of them. And I tend to go through a sort of mobile phase where I'll maybe have one or two games that I play on and off throughout the entire year. So Dragalia was one of them. It came out in, November or October, something like that. And I tend to play it just about every day, just log in, get my free orbs or whatever it is that we have in that game, and play around a little bit. But it's been fun. I think the story is okay, but for a game that's free, or at least free to start, and you don't have to pay anything, it's pretty cool. And it's kind of addictive, getting new characters and just the attention to detail. Again, in this game, the catchy music, it's fun, and it's a game that I think I'll remember playing for a few years out, and hopefully it can live up to Nintendo standards. And if it does anything like their other mobile game I really enjoy, Fire Emblem Heroes, which I still also play, then it's just going to give even more of my time. So Dragalia Lost is my third honorable mention. All right, and that brings us to the Game of the Year for 2018 for me. It was a tough pick because, to be honest, I didn't play too many games that came out in 2018, and of them, I don't think a lot of them were up to the par of being actually called Game of the Year. But there was one game that I think was above and beyond, delivered in every way that I was waiting for. It was super fun. I'll still be playing it for a while now into 2019. And I think DLC will keep the game going longer. The community will go longer. And it came out super late. So maybe it's a bit of an odd pick, but my Game of the Year is going to be Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for the Switch. In terms of quality and content, like it delivers everything. Every character is there. Almost every stage is there. There's hundreds of musical tracks. Attention to detail is just off the charts. And that's what I kind of want in a game. I want a game that makes me feel like my years and years of playing games were worth it because I can get this cool experience with a new game. Or I can see something in a level that really stands out to my nostalgia, and it makes me feel like being a gamer was fun. It was worth it. It was my hobby, and this is my hobby exemplified to the best degree. That being said, it's a really cool Switch game because it runs very flawlessly on this TV screen and also in the handheld mode. And I think that's cool. Like it's selling me more on the gimmick, if you will, of the Switch, being able to do those two things. Like I'm going to be in Las Vegas when you guys see this, and I will likely have my Switch with me and may even be playing Smash at the time that you see this. And that's a testament to the Switch itself and the longevity of Smash. So talking more about Smash, I think the game's mechanics were rock solid since like Melee. They've done some few tweaks here and there, and in Ultimate, everything feels fresh and refined. The music has always been a big draw for me too. So getting newcomers like Simon and Richter Belmont from Castlevania, which has absolutely amazing soundtracks on its own, just makes that an even better option. Having the choice again to rule out the songs you don't like and just play the ones that you do. Coupled that with a lot of customization for levels, modes, characters, everything that you can think of to make the game play like how you want to. That's really what you want as a gamer in a video game. So Super Smash Bros. Ultimate delivers on all those promises. It's looking like 2019 will be its year as well. So we'll see how that goes. But for right now, Smash Ultimate is my 2018 game of the year. I also picked a best game of 2019 that was released in 2018. Thinking ahead, and really it's because I really want this game to be better than it was when it launched. It shouldn't come as a surprise. I'm talking about Fallout 76. So I'm hoping that throughout 2019, the game gets plenty of patches, updates, and content, hopefully not paid content, things that you could just download and make the game better. But I really do feel like that game could be amazing. Maybe it'll take the route of No Man's Sky and get those updates that make it a much better game than it was when it launched, and players will come back to it, or those that stick with it will be finally rewarded. So the reason I want to say that is not only is the pedigree for Fallout super duper high, but 76 has a great world and a wonderful storyline that is hidden behind these sort of tropes that they eliminated. So without NPCs, the world does feel very empty. But I think there are ways that you can incorporate NPCs back into the game that would, one, make sense in the storyline for the game itself, and two, not throw off what the developers at Bethesda were trying to do anyway. So, for example, with the factions that are in 76 but may have been killed by the Scorched or whatever, I don't see why other factions can't roam into Appalachia and take over or cause the player character to make harder choices, but just some way to make NPCs come back into that game. I think that will make a difference. Also, the interactions with other players are very limited, so try to think of something that would make that more engaging. I don't think that the local events or the community events are really enough to engage me as a player to want to help someone else or even just do that event. So something else that could be more impactful, like maybe there is an area that will only be available for a couple weeks and then like it moves away, like a caravan or something of some character, something that would make it more worthwhile for me to go, and then more permanent changes. So like if a character in the world, say, I don't know, like blows up a building or they build a house somewhere, like why can't that be a more permanent fixture? Like if we're actually supposed to be the ones rebuilding Appalachia, but every time we actually log out of the game, it doesn't actually matter. It kind of makes it feel like there's a, I don't know, disconnect between those two ideas. So I am not a developer. I don't know what that would mean, but those are just things that I think could make the game better. And those that play 76 hopefully are able to read into the lore and the characters and the monsters and all that stuff, and they'll find something really cool. So that's why I'm hoping that Fallout 76 will be a much better game in 2019, and one that I will want to keep going back playing again and again. All right, lastly, too, I had my short list of games that I didn't include in honorable mentions or game of the year. Essentially, they're just games that I played in 2018 that came out in 2018 that I thought were quality. So I'll list them off if you wanted to do them for I don't know, comparative purposes between the other guys. But my other candidates were Monster Hunter World, a good game, good RPG. Played it for a good while, fun, but I just don't think it was of what I really wanted. Kirby Star Allies for the Switch, a good game that started out okay, and then with a lot of DLC, and the last DLC actually, it was all free. It gave a brand new game mode. Haven't played it yet, but I've heard it was really good. It was actually a totally new way to play the game, and it added a ton of new characters. That's a cool example of what Nintendo and hopefully a lot of other people will do with games, almost a games as service idea. So hopefully that can keep going. Possibly one of Jet's picks is Hollow Knight. Didn't play it for too long, only a couple hours on the Switch when it was on sale. But I really liked it. It was a cool atmosphere. That type of Dark Souls-esque gameplay isn't really up my alley. I think that it's a bit more serious when I want to be a bit more relaxed in the games that I play. But still really good. I can respect a quality game when I see one. Mario Tennis Aces, another good example, kind of like Fallout 76, one that I wanted to be better than it really was. again, it's not bad. Actually, the gameplay is much better than Ultra Smash from the Wii U. It just wasn't quite what I think it was hyped up to be. I was really expecting that RPG tennis to be more than just one little game mode. I was hoping to build characters and have almost like a storyline outside of just wandering from world to world. Lastly, too, another new game that came out is Super Mario Party for the Switch. Again, got that one for Christmas as well. It was on my list, so thank you for getting me the gifts. But that's a really, really cool game. I think that is another return to form for a series that has been missing for quite some time. Granted, I liked Mario Party 9, and I actually really like Mario Party 10. But Super Mario Party for the Switch really hammers down all the game modes and makes them what people want and expect. So there's actually the big board game modes that you remember from the original Mario Parties. There's the just straight up mini games you can play. There's the cooperative game modes where you play games for, against one another, but you're ultimately trying to do something together. I think it's the best of all those worlds, and I could see it being one of the definitive party games for Switch until something else comes around too. So yeah, I think games such as Overcooked 2 are going to be really fun, but for me, that's kind of a stressful game. So I maybe would enjoy something like Mario Party more. But again, in terms of game of the year, not really. Party game of the year, possibly. But that was the rest of my short list for 2018.